Another day, another story. What is the true, real-life horror story you've been through? Pretty tame compared to some of these others, but here's mine. I was out in my front yard raking up the leaves that, despite being from my neighbor's tree, routinely get me warnings from the HOA. I'm looking down at my work as I hear a loud scream from across the street, a few houses down. I look up to see a woman carrying a limp child in her arms. She scans to her right, and then left towards me. Tears streaming down her face, she runs to me. Now, I've never met this woman before, but she runs up and practically throws this child at me, a 4 or 5-year-old girl. I take her in my arms and look at her face. I see that her eyes are rolled back and she is literally foaming at the mouth. I try to ask the woman what happened, but she doesn't speak English very well, and with my limited Spanish I'm able to discern that she basically just fell out of her chair while eating lunch. Now, I'm not a medical professional, but it seems a lot like a seizure to me. So, I kneel down with her in my arms, taking one hand and making sure her airways are clear. I listen for her breathing and feel for a pulse. All clear. I then get back up, child in arms, run up to my front door and yell for my wife to call an ambulance and bring a blanket. The woman is pacing back and forth, bawling her eyes out, but for some reason is completely comfortable with a complete stranger handling this all for her. My wife brings the blanket and performs her own rudimentary inspection. She has much more medical knowledge than I do, but is still far from a professional. The paramedics show up a few minutes later and take the child and her mother away in an ambulance. I'm pretty shaken up for the next hour or so, but am mostly concerned for the little girl and her clearly devastated mother. The next day, I get a knock on my door. I open the door up, and there's a man there. It turns out to be the little girl's dad, who wasn't home during the emergency, and he just smiles at me and guides this little girl out from behind him. She smiles at me and the man says thank you. I fight back tears and say you're welcome. I give her a hug and they turn around and walk home. From horror to awesome. Thank you.